So I'm assuming either you have a trip to New York coming up soon, or you live in New York and you don't know where to eat. So I'm here to tell you all the best food places I tried while being in New York for 1 whole month. My name's Kimia and I spent 1 whole month in New York trying out all the delicious foods. I'm gonna say most of the places I tried in this video were really good, but I'm gonna tell you guys which ones really stood out and are like must-goes. There are also some really famous places to go in New York to eat, but some of them are really overpriced, so I wanted to make sure to try those ones too and let you know if it's worth it. In this video we try all different types of food, so I'm gonna kind of break it down into categories, and I think I want to start off with pizza. We definitely hit a good handful of pizza places in New York. We used Dave Portnoy's rating system and hit everything kind of above a 8.5. So although we didn't get to go to every place, we went to the really iconic ones, so I can tell you guys which ones were worth it. The first place we did decide to try on this trip was John's of Bleaker Street. We headed here on our second night and we ended up eating here twice before we tried other pizza places, and for some reason I'm an idiot and lost the footage of me actually trying the pizza at this place even though I went 2 times. I will say it's like a really good pizza compared to other places in the world. However, I will say I tried better in New York, but it's also personal preference because I love a vodka sauce pizza and this was more traditional cheese. Not to say that it wasn't good, but I personally prefer a different type of pie, so this one wasn't my number one, although if you have the extra time might as well go try it out, and it's a great sit down place. It has a very good ambiance and stuff. As for the pizza, I won't say it was my number one favorite out of the very good places we tried. Then the next day we headed over to Sauce. Okay guys, we're trying Sauce Pizzeria. This one's the one by the Slice. So apparently the Slice one is better than the whole pizza sit down place, so we're gonna try it. It might be closed, kids.
6? Oh man.
Unfortunately, Sauce was closed when we went, so then we headed over and we had to try a $1 slice for comparison because New York is known for their dollar slices. I think fresh slice, but it is $1. I mean, I'm on my back.
It's giving like Chuck E. Cheese vibe, right?
Definitely not the best, but for $1 if I'm hungry, it will do. I will say it's nothing like the more expensive places, but for $1, I guess you can't really go wrong. I just saw this bubble tea place and I literally had to stop and get some, so I've just been like obsessed with bubble tea since I got here. Yeah, 27, thank you. Have to mix it. You're gonna love this. It's really good. So I've always wanted to try this, but they never do oat milk, so they do oat milk here, so I was happy I get to try it finally, but it's so good. It's the perfect amount of sweet and just milk. It hits. All boba hits. Finally, we got to go back to Sauce at 6 p.m. to try out their pizza, and I will say this one was very good. It was extremely thin sliced pizzas, so I will say if you like a crunchy, paper thin pizza, this is for you, and the sauce particularly was really delicious. I personally got the spicy vodka. I did end up trying the cheese and the margarita as well. Alright guys, we're gonna try this pizza. Apparently one of the best slices in New York. I'm gonna go for the vodka first. It's so thin, guys, which I love. This is really good. Oh, the crunch. You hear how crispy it is? Like, look how thin that is. It's not even like doughy at all. Which I'm honestly a fan of. And the sauce is really good too. This is hitting the spot for me. I preferred this type of pizza over the John's of Bleaker one. Again, that's a very personal preference because they're just 2 different types of slices. Now I'm gonna put my favorite pizza place in here, and I cannot stop thinking about this pizza. It is so freaking good. They have the classic slices, but they also have the square slices, and I'm gonna say a wild statement here. The square slices are the best I've ever had. They kind of use like a focaccia type pizza dough, and just the spiciness, the vodka sauce, everything is perfect. I'm a big texture person, and this dough is a beautiful texture. It's the perfect mix of crunchy and chewy. Every time we went here, I was so excited to eat it that I didn't really get to filming much of it because I was just literally so ready to eat it every single time. We came to Prince Street Pizza over and over again because it was just by far our favorite. So I totally recommend this place. You cannot miss Prince Street Pizza. I'm telling you, eat as much of it as you can because when you go home, you will miss it. it. Then we traveled down to Brooklyn to try some other iconic pizza places. We first stopped at Fara's, and Fara's is really well known, and honestly it was amazing. I will say Prince Street is still my favorite, but if I want more of the olive oil, crunchy, square slice, this is where I'm going. Okay, so I just basically filmed my whole review of Fara's pizza, and the whole thing was blurry. So I'm gonna tell you guys quickly again. I'm comparing this deep dish pizza, a square slice, to the one at Prince Street. Prince Street is sweeter and more like fluffy, doughy, soft. This is like crispy, like a good sharp marinara. Like almost you taste like butter in the crust. Like,
the olive oil.
yeah, so I think it's like the olive oil that you taste in the crust, and it's super crispy. Anyways, if you're in Brooklyn, might as well give this a try. I do recommend it. I think there is one in Manhattan, but this is like the OG spot. And next we headed to Luigi's Pizza. I will say by far this is the best price slice to flavor ratio. It was the best classic cheese I've tried in New York, I'd say, but it's worth the distance if you're passionate about pizza. I will say it's a comparable style of pizza to Joe's. I do think Luigi's is better than Joe's, even though Joe's is a classic, and it's also half the price, so why not try it out? So I think this is the best classic cheese I've had yet. No vodka sauce, just plain old classic. Better than Joe's, I'd say. It's really good. And then that leads me to one of the most popular, famous pizza places, Joe's Pizza. I think they have a great cheese. It's a great classic pizza. When you think of pizza, you probably think of this being like your most basic type, but it is a really good basic slice, and it is a little bit cheaper than Prince Street. However, I'm starting to think that maybe I'm just not a classic cheese person, because I will always prefer the vodka sauce pizza over it, and that brings me back again to my favorite Prince Street pizza, which I think tops Joe's in my opinion. However, Joe's is really good if you're looking for a classic late night slice. So that kind of wraps up the pizza section of this video. The next section is bagels, because I was obsessed with bagels in New York, and New York is known for their bagels. We stayed right by Russ and Daughters. However, I didn't try it because it was very expensive. It would have been like a $30 bagel for me as a Canadian, and I just felt like after reading up on it and looking at TikToks that it wasn't gonna be quite worth that price. So I just decided to try some other places. I also got a recommendation to go to Liberty Bagels, and that ended up being my favorite place. We ended up eating there multiple times, more because of the cream cheese selection, because they have some wild flavors and it was just so good. Can I please get a poppy bagel, and can I get it half with the lox lemon cream cheese and half with blueberries? I got half salmon, lox, lemon, dill, I think. And then I got half blueberry. I know that's weird, but trust me, it's gonna hit, because the blueberry is gonna be like the dessert, and then the cream cheese lox is gonna be like the main dish. The iconic bagel. I love how they like section it in actual two halves. That makes a really big difference. And the amount of cream cheese they put in this is actually insane. This is huge. You don't got like a Philly cheesesteak? Oh, look how big that is. You gotta see it unwrap, babe.
By your hand, try to show the size.
That's a lot of cream cheese, guys. We're taking a break from the savory bagel and moving on to dessert, because I just can't wait. Look at that beauty. We decided to check out Tompkin Square Bagels next, and this one was actually a really popular one that I saw online too, and I will say this was really good. They had a much smaller selection of cream cheese. However, I will say their bagels were more fresh and more fluffy a bit and less dense, whereas Liberty was a super dense bagel. Okay, let's try the first bite. This is really good. I can't compare it to the blueberry one I had, because that's my favorite. For smoked salmon, it's good, and it's like a lot more affordable than Russ and Daughters, and the bagel is not too dense. So I would say I would prefer the actual bagel at Tompkin Square, but I would probably always end up going back to Liberty because of their cream cheese flavors, and I'm obsessed with the blueberry one. So next we went to try out one of the most famous places in New York that always has a lineup, and that is Katz Delicatessen. We were hesitant of this at first because it's super expensive for us. Okay, we're at Katz right now. There's always a lineup here, so we had to give it a shot. P.S. guys, it's actually really expensive here. It's like gonna be $40 for a sandwich. So just note that if you're coming. I will say it is 100% worth going here at least one time. Their pastrami is to die for, and the sauerkraut on it, the whole thing was amazing, and it was also a great experience. It's super cool. While you're waiting in line for them to make your sandwich in front of you, they give you a little sample of pastrami, which I swear goes a long way when you're starving, and they give you a nice batch of pickles and cucumbers on the side. It is just really good. We shared one sandwich and that was enough. We were stuffed to the brim with that. I think the fact that we shared it and we were full kind of makes up for the price point, and they just put so much meat in there, so I understand why it's so expensive, because they really stacked that sandwich up and it was phenomenal. I would 100% recommend going and trying it. If you're in New York, you gotta do it once at least. But I will say, chef's kiss to Katz Delicatessen. Then we headed to Chinatown one day to try the famous rice rolls. I saw a lot of people talking about this, especially if you're trying to eat on a budget, and I will say this was definitely budget friendly. Okay, we're at Sun Hang Long right now. We're trying the rice rolls. It was $2.50 for a chicken rice roll dish, which is really, really affordable. There were more expensive places. I didn't end up trying them, but I got this recommended to me as well, so I had to try it.
Where's the meat?
It's like minced really finely. Honestly, I would recommend this place. The price is really good, and it's probably just as good as the other rice roll places. So. And then we headed to bubble tea. I love bubble tea, as you saw earlier in this video. That one was by far my favorite, but we got invited to this other place to try it out. Okay, so we're at Ali Mama Tea right now. I found this place on TikTok, so we had to try it. They were nice enough to let us try these things, but I'm still gonna give you guys an honest review. Look how pretty it is, first of all. Like, that is so beautiful. Let's just put the straw in and kind of ruin it, because I want to try it. Is that like gold dust? Like, what the heck? Okay, so this one, actually, you can add boba. It doesn't come with boba, but a lot of their drinks do have boba. It's actually really good. It's lychee flavor, and I love lychee. Honestly, it's super refreshing. I actually really like that. Really, really good summer drink, even though summer's over, but that's okay. This is a mochi donut, which I've been wanting to try since I've been in New York. And then this is like brown sugar milk tea cream puff, which is about to be crazy. Like, just, I don't even know how to go about this. It has bobas in it. That's actually fire. I think if you come here, get this for sure. I want you to try it. That was really good. I'm gonna have to finish that later. Mochi donut, which I've been dying to try. It has like gold flakes on it. Super chewy. Wait, what's that? The thing is, I don't really have another mochi donut to compare it to, so I'd have to give that review later once I try another place. It's basically a super, super chewy donut, so if you like cool textures, I guess this would be for you. It's like a honey creme brulee. I'd say this is my favorite though. Next, I have to show you guys my favorite cookie spot. You guys have to go. Do not miss this place because it has the most ooey gooey cookies. Okay guys, I had to literally come back to my favorite cookie place in New York City to show you guys, because I couldn't let you guys miss this place. Like, you guys need to come here if you guys want the most ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies that are literally like so delicious. You have to come to Levain. I got my little coffee here, and we got our cookies in the bag. I got chocolate chip, and Bijan got peanut butter chip, which both are so good, but I love the chocolate chip. And it's like almost like doughy raw a bit, and like I like it that way. And they're just the best cookies, so if you're in New York, you need to have it. While we were at this cookie place, we saw this taco place next door, and I noticed I'd heard of it before, so we went in to try it, and it ended up being one of the best tacos I've ever tried in my entire life anywhere in the world. Okay, I'm gonna quickly try these pork tacos. I'm really hungry, so I just want to dig in. As you can see, it's hella juicy. Yeah, it's actually really, really good, not gonna lie. quesadilla time. There's like cheese melted on it. This is beef. The pork was actually fire. Totally recommend getting it. It was so freaking juicy. I've never tasted like flavor like this in a beef taco. Like it's no regular beef taco. You have to try this taco place. I know I keep saying that about everything, but this is a must eat. One night I ended up really craving dessert, and I've always wanted to try ube ice cream. So this place had ube soft serve, so I had to make the trek over and try it. This was at Soft Swerve, New York City, and honestly it was fire. I had never tried ube. So honestly at first I was like, this tastes really interesting. Like I'm not sure if I love it, but now I'm obsessed. Like I've been eating it like a madman on the way home. It's actually so good. Also the place is called Soft Swerve, so I definitely recommend this. It's actually so good. Because it's a potato, because it's a purple yam, it does taste a little bit potatoey and earthy at first, but it's actually so good. It's kind of like vanilla, earthy flavors. I don't know. Okay, there's an iconic Italian restaurant called Bar Pitti, and we ended up going there on one of our last nights. I've always wanted to have the pasta with truffle flakes on them, you know, the ones that are shaved. So I decided to get that, even though it was a little bit of a splurge. And then we also got the pappardelle. I will say the truffle wasn't as good as I expected because I love a good truffle pasta, but I've had better in the past. But the pappardelle, on the other hand, was phenomenal. It was so good. The pasta was so fresh. It was cooked perfectly. The sauce was amazing. So I would recommend it, but I wouldn't recommend getting the truffle dish. We got invited to this place called Evil Katsu to try out their Katsu sandwiches. We're at Evil Katsu and we're gonna try out some of their sandwiches. I saw this place on TikTok and it looked really good. I thought the chicken sandwich and the portobello mushroom sandwich.
So here you have the portobello sando, chicken sando, and then I brought two really nice snacks. This is brand new on the menu, so this is Japanese style meatballs. This is like pork and like it has like a lot of like fat and everything is very juicy. And then those are the shishitos with a yuzu scallion aioli. And I feel like this is like a perfect snack, kind of like fries with your sandwich.
Yeah. They brought us so many good snacks. They brought us these like peppers and meatballs, but we're gonna first try the chicken katsu sandwich, and it literally looks amazing. It is so juicy, I can already see. Guys, that is so tender. Nowhere will compare to the food I've tried in New York. Like, I have had so many katsus in Vancouver, and this is definitely probably the best I've ever had. The thing is, it's a really simple sandwich, but I like it that way because the seasoning in the katsu just like kind of carries the whole thing, and then it just has like carrots and I think this is cabbage, and the sauce is super simple, but the spices in the katsu like crust, I guess, is really good. Definitely recommend the chicken sandwich. Okay guys, we're trying the portobello mushroom one now. I actually really like this one too. Okay, I'm not vegetarian, but I feel like I almost like this one equally because the flavor is so good. Hold on. I would totally enjoy both. The chicken, I will say there's a big piece of chicken in there, so I really like that about it, but I love both of these, and I'm happy that I'm eating half of each because, and I get to try both because they're both so good. Chef's kiss. Okay, so this is a newer item on their menu, and it's these pork meatballs. I think it's like pork and fat, and let's see. I don't think I've ever tasted flavor like this before. I will tell you guys, I'm not really a huge pork person, but it is really good, and I feel like it has a really unique flavor, and it is good. As you can see, it's like perfectly charred on the outside, and then the middle is nice and juicy. These are peppers, and they have aioli on it, and they're not supposed to be super spicy, but you're supposed to kind of eat them as a side, like as a snack, as fries, kind of beside your sandwich. And I already know these are gonna be so good because my dad always makes these whenever I have steak at his house. Really good. Not spicy, but just like perfectly like sweet, fresh. The aioli adds to it. I am so full. You guys know I liked it when I literally have nothing left. Like finished a whole sandwich, and they're huge. So full, but I have to say after finishing it, me and Bijan both agreed that it was actually like phenomenal. It was so good. You can tell that they put effort in like making sure the flavor is like really special and good. So yeah, definitely recommend Evil Katsu. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I hope you guys have a great food experience while visiting New York City. Literally, New York is a food capital, so I hope you guys get to try out a lot of stuff. It is delicious, and they have some of the the best food I've ever tried. Anyways, I hope you guys get to try these places, and if you've already tried any of these places, comment below and let me know what your favorites are, because I probably missed so many places. But definitely put your recommendations below, because I'm sure people will find that super helpful. But anyways, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to check out more of my New York videos. I'll put it at the end. Love you guys. Bye.